Ooh. What is your operational definition of tantrum? Okay. Listen, tantrums could be just whining, falling to the floor, or you could have a whole blown destroying property, destruction, aggression, like trying to kick the tables and students as they're trying to move them in a safer place. Like, it's very variable. And also, too, you have to consider how old is this learner? Are we talking a little elementary school students, that you could like wait them out? Or are we talking about huge middle school kids where, you failed at those antecedent measures and being so proactive that now you have to be reactive and you want to try to like redirect them outside of the classroom safely so that he's not or she's doing intense damage. You know what I mean? So one of the things that I stress all the time, everybody needs to have proactive measures in place. You want to focus on being proactive, antecedent measures instead of waiting for things to, like the reactive part, right? And obviously we understand like there's going to be tantrums, of course, but if you could try to catch the precursor behaviors prior and like insert yourself, like whether you have to focus on emotional regulation, maybe you got to modify demand, maybe it's a skill or a will thing, like, right? There's a lot of different variables in place. But the whole point is if you could try to focus on those antecedent measures, you're going to want to focus on that. And obviously, does this learner have a BIP? So it's like you have to follow the BIP protocol. But for the most part, when tantrums are going on, and it depends on how extreme, like I said, because we have kids that like to make things into weapons. So now you have to worry about trying to get a heavy old metal stapler that feels like it's 5 pounds out of their hand where they're ready to throw it across the room and could freaking hurt somebody big deal. So for instance, when it comes to like a child having a weapon or scissors or something similar to what I just explained, the person that's the one-to-one, especially if they have a one-to-one, that person should always be that person's safe place. So they should be you have to remain calm and neutral, right? And always validating. Emotional regulation is going to be your target if they're already at this peak. So you're going to want to try to get them outside of the classroom in a safer environment, because not only to remove them from the environment, because removing them from the environment is going to be crucial. You need to change the environment because the tantrum started there, so let's have a breakaway. But also, too, you have to consider the kids in the classroom. The kids in the classroom will probably be laughing, and the eye contact or like scary or screaming. All that stuff is going to increase behaviors and increase tantrums. I promise you. So you want to remove the learner from the environment to calm down and start fresh. So when it comes, like I said, if the learner has a weapon, obviously you want to make sure that you're using, like you're trying to position yourself in a way where you're able to grab it. But I'm not saying like for instance, like if this is a stapler, I'm going to grab it and I'm not going to pull it away. I'm not going to end up in a tug of war. I'm just going to hold it. I'm going to hold it steady, and he could pull it and pull it towards him, but I'm just going to hold it so tight that it's not moving much. And I'm not even going to look at the stapler. I'm just going to, maybe I'm not even going to look, okay, let's go take a walk. You know what I mean? Like the whole point is you want to redirect them from where they are right now in that unsafe environment to a more calmer and safer place. So yeah, they're going to be mad at you, but eventually when you have an opportunity where you know that maybe they're like they regrip and you're able to pull it and just pass it behind your back or pass it to somebody else where they can't access it. You see what I mean? The whole point is you don't want to bring too much attention, but you need to take those things out their hand. I'm saying this because this happens all the time. Okay, so now you have removed the weapon, right? The potential weapon. So sometimes you have to wait it out, right? No, don't be yelling at them. Don't have an attitude. Like, you just have to stay calm and neutral. Like, I understand you're upset. Let's go take a walk. You know what I mean? Come on, let's talk about it over here. Come on, I'm with you. Like, that's my approach. But like I said, there's so many variables in place. Is it an older kid? Is it a younger kid? Like, is there weapons involved? Is there huge property destruction? Like, there's a lot of stuff. But when it comes to tantrums in the classroom, you really want to understand your learners. You need to understand the triggers if you can, especially when it comes to like work, like maybe lessen the work demand in a moment. You need to focus on emotional regulation, right? Validating feelings. I understand that you're upset, or I understand that you want to go next, but maybe next time you can go next, or maybe we can raise your hand next time and you can let me know because I didn't know. You're just explaining and validating, depending on there's so many question marks here, but I know tantrums in the classroom is very hard. Obviously, you want to try to ignore as much as you can while you're redirecting it to something more appropriate, right? Like, oh, okay, do you need something? But Yeah. Proactive measures. Accommodations and modifications in place to set them up for success at all times in their environment. And if it's like a huge outburst, like emotional regulation and figuring out what happened and just trying to switch the environment to get them away from the other kids so that there's less, he's not getting paired or she's not getting paired with that destructive behavior and the other kids start being scared of them.